Hi, I'm Karin from the Fear 102 term the game. No, it's Ma. Anyway, in this video, I want to talk about a little detail which I adore in Silent Hill 2, which is the ending conversation with her. Ooh, and how in the remake, they kind of dropped the ball in some ways, but in other ways they improved upon it. So, in the many endings of Silent Hill 2, this game, there are 4 endings which have leads to a discussion with her, who could be Maria or Mary. Leave, Immortal, Maria, and Rebirth. Let's go in order and talk about what makes them unique, and how the ending conversation reflects on James's character, who he becomes, a reflection of the player who plays the game, and how unique they are from each other. Leave ending, James decides he wants to move on. He's done his trial in Silent Hill, he's fed up with it. How does this ending with Maria, not Mary, but Maria, change? So, when he's talking to Maria, he mentions, this is unique to this ending, to end this nightmare. Which basically implies that, yeah, he wants to move on from the town. He's sick of the town, he's sick of Pyramid Head, he's sick of the nurses, fuck it, he wants to move on. Then the boss fight happens. Then he has a conversation with Mary in the bed. It's not Mary, but his manifestation of Mary, because psychological horror! And basically, in this conversation, she says, you know, you killed me and I wanted to die, but James is like, yeah, you did, but I wanted my life back. I hated you. However, in the ending, she specifically says, live on, James, which is unique to the leave ending. Hence, James lives on. Hence, it's James in his head telling himself, I need to live on. I want to live on, basically. Next, the Immortal Ending, aka the based ending, aka the suicide ending. In this ending, James speaks to Maria again. However, in the conversation before the boss fight, James says, the problem is, you're not Mary. You see, in this ending, James, in my opinion, is loyal to Mary and can't live without her. Hence, he commits suicide. Then, after the boss fight, speaking to Mary again in the bed, again, not really Mary, but psychological, Mary is like, instead of, says the same thing as before, you know, I wanted to die, no, I hated you, blah, 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 blah. However, Mary doesn't say live on. Mary, in fact, goes, you killed me and you're suffering for it. And then as she says, James, she dies, passes away. So in the way, James is doubling down on his motion to commit suicide. He still feels guilt and deserves to be punished for what he did. He loves Mary and he's suffering for what he did to her. Hence, the Immortal Ending. Then we have the Maria ending, which this is obviously a reference to Mary in the bed. Instead of talking to Maria, you're speaking to Mary. And Mary's like, damn, man, I made you suffer and you hated me for it. And James is like, yeah, it's been a long 3 years and I'm tired, blah, 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 blah. This is different to the other ones because, well, at this point, James, he's fuck Mary. Fuck that horrible piece of shit. I have Maria, a healthier, sexier version of my wife who passed away, who I killed. Fuck her, I want her now. Which is, by the way, really disgusting. But, hey, that's one of the endings. So instead you fight Mary. But guess what? The ending conversation after the boss fight is with Maria, because James doesn't have Mary in his head anymore. Fuck Mary. And hence, he's like, yo, I want Maria. For fuck's sake, I'm getting them too mixed up. I want Maria. And hence, the ending line where he's like, you better do something about that cough. Again, it's an interesting ending because, well, fucking wig. It's an interesting ending because, well, James is basically a man who has lust and basically he's frustrated, sexually frustrated, and he's like, you know what? Fuck learning my lesson. Fuck this whole town. I want Maria. And it's kind of nasty, but it's a good nasty. It's like a nasty which is nice. It's a bad ending, but not bad in quality. It's a good ending, but it's a nasty ending. Then we have Rebirth. Rebirth is interesting because it's more about a reference to Silent Hill 1. And basically, it's more about the cult powers in the town. And basically, it's a conversation with Maria. And James is like, I can bring her back. And I can't live on without you. Sorry, that's from the remake. In the original game, he's like, I just can't live on without Mary. And basically, he's referencing the fact that he wants to bring his dead wife back to life. Oh. Again, this is really cool. Each ending has something similar with each other, but the conversation's different because little details. James becomes a different person, and it's one of the reasons why this game from 2001 is incredible. Then we have the remake, and the remake, 2 of the endings it improves upon. The other 2, it's like a down fucking grade. Let me explain. Let's start with the bad, because I'm a miserable prick, let's be honest. So, in the Leave ending, with the conversation with Maria is the same as the one for In Water. They have no differences. There is no, you're the problem with Mary, your problem is you're not Mary, or then time to end this nightmare. Team Blooper decided, fuck it, let's have the same conversation that could be both for In Water and Leave. And yeah, sure, James is like, oh, I want this has to stop. You tried, you're not Mary for fuck's sake, Mary. However, it loses the identity, it loses the personality of the endings. Then what's even fucking worse is after the boss fight, the bed conversation's removed and In Water it now just skips to the car. I guess a game with themes of suicide imagery, puzzles with the theme of suicide in them. Basically the game's a massive theme of suicide. I guess the man trying to justify himself to commit suicide. No. Even though In Water is the suicide, no. We can't have the character justify to himself he wants to die. Okay? But what's even worse is the Leave ending. They kept the bed scene. They kept Mary in the bed with James. She has the same line, which I tried, by the way. It's a powerful scene. It's a very difficult scene. But the problem is, she doesn't fucking say, "Live on, James." So remember, this is not Mary. It's Mary and James's manifestation. What's he trying to justify himself? What's he trying to justify? What's he trying to double down? Is he trying to say, oh no, I want to live on? No, how? He doesn't say the lie. He shouldn't say the lie. So what's the point? What's the purpose of that scene? And before you fuckers are like, it's meant to display that James is a grey character. He murders his wife, but he's sympathetic and you feel bad for the guy. That's what that scene's meant to do. I'm like, no, that's 100% false. Because what about the rest of the game? The game itself makes you feel bad for James. It's this idea of a caretaker who wants their life back, forced to look after their dying, death-sickened wife. You feel bad for the guy throughout the game. You don't need this one scene to be like, oh no, James is sympathetic. And number 2, you may be saying, oh, what about the letter? Mary gives him the letter this time, which tells him to live on. Bullshit. The letter is one of the few things that doesn't change, so it's not fucked up by James's head, meaning we know it's from Mary. But the letter, he reads the letter in all the other endings in the original game. So no, you can't just use the fucking letter as a way to, he wants to live on, because that's what it says in the letter. No, he read the letter in the Immortal Ending and he still wants to die. So no, that doesn't excuse it. And that sucks. It really does suck because you lose the context, you lose the little details. However, on the plus side, the Rebirth and the Maria ending, they are, in my opinion, they're improved upon in this remake. So let's start with the Rebirth. So again, it's pretty much the same thing, but instead of James going, I can't live on without Mary, except he's like a psychopath, and he's all like, I have to kill you. You're the part that still clings on to me. I need to kill you. Like a fucking nutter. And I love it. It's so fucking psychopathic. And I will say, I wish we had more of this self-aware James throughout the playthrough. I do believe when you pick up one of the items for the ending, he's like, Maria is like, what's that? And he's like, nothing, just go away. Which I like. However, what really is the best out of the bunch is the Maria ending. Because they've somehow made it worse. So, not only does it play out like James is cheating on Mary, which in my opinion he is. That's my personal belief. I think that if your loved one passes away and you see someone else, I mean you can, but in my opinion you still have to be loyal to your partner who passed away. Just my opinion. He looks like he's in court. He's like, what the? He can't even say words. Like Mary just pwned his ass. However, it's a conversation with Maria. There is no the narration by Mary for the letter. James doesn't even open the letter. He looks at the letter. He's all like, He like puts it in his pocket, and you don't get the narration by Mary. So the motherfucker, it's like even worse than the original, because in the original, okay, he's still a prick, and he's, man wants lust, and man has desires, etc. But at least he went through something, and now he's tired of it, and he's like, you know what? I want to treat myself. I murdered my wife, and now I got an upgrade. Like, yeah, it sucked and it's horrible, but you can still sympathize with what he's been through. This version, it's like he never even learned his lesson. He's just like, yeah, let's go. I don't know who's Mary. I don't have a wife named Mary. And then, man, it's so good. It's nasty. It's so deliciously nasty. And yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I think what Blooper did is great, but I still think those little details being gone sucks, because Team Silent, they had a limited budget. They had creative freedom, but they also had a schedule, yet they managed to include so many little details. And it sucks because little details make Silent Hill 2. The reason why, partly, I made my YouTube channel was to talk about little details because of Silent Hill 2. There are so many little details in that game, and when you cut some out in the remake, it's gone. It sucks, in my opinion. And yeah, and that's really it. So that's the video. I hope you had fun listening to me. I hope you liked me in cosplay. But do let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with my take? Do you think, do you agree that the remake one's worse or better? I want to know your thoughts. See ya.